My name is Joyce Brooks, and I am a double lung transplant recipient. And thank you all for allowing me to share my story today. I'm originally from Chesapeake, Virginia. However, I've been residing here in Anchorage, Alaska for the last 20 plus years. I got here in Anchorage via the United States Air Force, and I fell in love with it and decided to make it my home. After I separated from the military, I was getting adjusted to civilian life. And then in 2012, things just got a little bit more labored with my breathing. Walking to the restroom, walking to the car, things just got a little bit more hard to do. I didn't pay much attention at first because I hadn't been to the gym, so I just thought I needed to work out. However, one day as I was leaving the restroom, my phone was ringing, so I rushed to answer the phone, and my friend was on the other end, and she was like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you breathing so hard?" And I was like, "Oh, I just need to go to the gym." She was telling me some very disturbing news, and I was saddened by the news. However, it scared me to the point that I needed to call my doctor. So I called my doctor, and through multiple testing, I was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis. So my first thought was, what is this? And how can we fix this? How can we get rid of this? But to my dismay, it's something that there's no cure for. So I just had to get adjusted to that reality, my new reality. So life went on and I was getting adjusted to that. And then finally, God blessed me to be able to birth my son in 2015. After that, I was getting used to being a new mom. The disease progressed to the point where I needed to leave to be listed for transplant. And with that, I was happy that I had another chance at life. However, I was saddened because I would have to be leaving my 5-year-old son. Well, at the time he was 4, my 4-year-old son. So I left here, Anchorage, Alaska on February the 5th, 2020, and I arrived in Seattle, Washington. At the time, I thought that it was going to be, kind of like a 3-4 month process in my head. But I didn't factor in COVID, which none of us knew that COVID was going to happen. So that slowed things up a bit. So I was there in Seattle. When I first got there, mentally, I had hope. However, I still was saddened. I was kind of wallowing in self-pity. And I just was in a sad place. But eventually, I kind of pulled myself out of it. I started journaling a lot. I started going on walks, with my oxygen tank, and I started praying and reading my Bible and just doing things to inspire me. And once I started changing my insides, as far as my thought process, and that's when my outside circumstances started to shift. I started to meet people who I met this one guy. He was 25 years post kidney transplant. And then I met this lady. She was 10 years post transplant. And then I met another lady, and she was actually awaiting transplant, actually awaiting to be listed like me. However, she was in Anchorage. She wasn't in Seattle like I was. So time went on, and I hadn't seen my son, but COVID lifted a little bit, where they lifted the traveling demands, the traveling mandates, I'm sorry. And so he was able to come right before, I think it was the end of July. No, it was August, I'm sorry, for a couple of weeks right before my transplant. And I was excited about that. And he left on a Thursday. And then I actually got the phone call on a Sunday, which was the 23rd of August. And I wasn't expecting it, but it happened. And so when I got the call, I was excited. I was shaking. So I called him because he was starting school the next day. And I told him that Mommy loves him and that I wouldn't be able to talk to him on his first day of school, but I just wanted to let him know that I loved him and that I'm there with him in spirit. And so I went and I had the transplant. And the last thing I remember was the doctor asking me, did I want music playing, or was I okay with just hearing the machines? And I told her I was okay with hearing the machines because inside I had a song playing on the inside of me. And then the next thing I know, I woke up and the doctor was telling me what he was going to do to take the tubes and stuff out. So he finally, you know, took the tubes out. And then when I could speak, the first thing that I said was, "Thank you, Jesus." I just kept saying that over and over and over. And I was extremely grateful for that, because everybody doesn't get that opportunity to be able to have a second chance, a new chance at life. And I'm getting emotional. However, throughout that whole process, you know, I met some amazing people that they've done things for me that I would never know what they have done in totality. However, it has definitely impacted my life in more ways than one. One of the ways is that I'm back here with my son. And I know when I first got back to Alaska, I got here December the 9th, 2020. And I wasn't able to hold him, you know, from the surgery and stuff. I wasn't able to hold him and, you know, do like he would want me to, because he had been gone. I had been gone away from him. And so eventually, as I healed and my body healed, I was able to actually hold him. And one day I carried him from my room to the couch because he asked me to, and I did it. And he was just like, "Mommy, I'm so glad that you can hold me now because you weren't able to before." And when he said that, it was like I was crying on the inside, because his hugs and the love from him it just does more. And I never knew if I would even be able to have that chance again. So my new lease on life is, you know, to love people, to be grateful and thankful for your very next breath. And it's like my for me, I feel like each breath that I take is a thank you to God, and thank you to my donor. Thank you to my donor's family. Thank you to the doctors. Thank you to the surgeons and everyone who had a part to play in this whole process of me being able to be here today. And so those are all memories and moments that I capture and I don't take for granted. And I am forever grateful for this opportunity to be here speaking to you today. So again, my name is Joyce Brooks, and I want to tell you all thank you.